us now is Ashwin Madia, an Iraq War veteran, interim co-chairman of VoteVets.org, and former Army Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. He's also an Iraq veteran. Ashwin, first of all, too, your group has been very vocal about this potential shutdown. You blame Republican lawmakers, but I got to tell you, there's plenty of blame for everyone if in fact there's a government shutdown.
Well, you're right about that. It's both sides' responsibility to get this done. I think that what we were pointing to was the fact that a non-controversial issue, one which Republicans and Democrats both agree on, which is the funding of troops, was tied to pretty controversial issues such as abortion, and that's kind of holding things up. I mean, it would seem to me that we ought to take care of the things that we all agree on first, which is funding the troops, and then later on, if people want to argue about abortion, they can have at it.
Which is a fair point. David, what do you think about that?
Look, I'm disgusted with both sides. I can't stand when Marines, veterans, and soldiers are used as poker chips. We didn't have anything to do with this shutdown, and now all of a sudden, you know, the political class in Washington looks at soldiers and Marines that, you know, break glass in case of war, stick them behind you when you want to look presidential. We just heard from a mother living in Camp Lejeune who's talking about living paycheck to paycheck. You know, this is real stuff. Harry Reid today had a bill in front of him that was voted on party lines that would have kept the DOD funded until the end of the fiscal year. September 30th of 2011, the DOD would have been taken care of. The Senate punted on it. Republicans and Democrats, if they truly wanted to stop using us as checkers on this political board, they could do it right now. So let's just stop the games with the Republican-Democrat nonsense, and let's let our troops focus on what they need to be focused on, and that's taking care of the enemy.
You agree, Ashwin, that from time to time, and probably right now, the fighting men and women of the United States, the U.S. military personnel, are merely some sort of poker chips, if you will. They're being used by both political parties.
Well, I hope that's not true, and I like to believe that it's not true. I mean, I think that probably in their hearts, both Republicans and Democrats, they care deeply about this country and they care deeply about the military. That's why I think it's unfortunate that this is going on. But speaking of both sides coming together, I think in the Senate today, Kay Bailey Hutchinson got 72 co-sponsors for a bill that would fund the military, even in the case of a government shutdown, and ensure all these servicemen and women got their paychecks. Now, that's not tied to any abortion bill or any of these other riders that I think have been holding this up, but I think it's a good bill, and I think that many, even Republicans in the Senate, are calling on John Boehner and House Republicans to accept that and to pass a similar bill and then argue about the riders later on.
You know, David, a lot of people are furious that if there's a shutdown, and we all hope there won't be a shutdown, but if there is and the paychecks stop going out to the family members of the U.S. military personnel, a lot of people are outraged that members of Congress, the House and Senate, they make about $175,000 a year, they would continue to get their paychecks. How do you feel about that?
I'm one of those people that are outraged by it. You know, you got privates and E4 below. Some of these guys are making $851 every 2 weeks, okay? The average member of Congress right now is worth what? Net worth of $3 million a person? I mean, that's what the average is. I don't think people care if Harry Reid has to transfer funds between money markets so he's not taking a paycheck. This is patronizing. You know, a member of Congress can own and operate an arena football team right now, and these kids are not going to be able to feed their children, their wives. How about this, Wolf? How about death gratuities? How about if you lost your husband or your son or your daughter? The death gratuity would stop. All of your security is gone. Your loved one is fallen. He's in Arlington Cemetery, and you can't get a gratuity for that from the government because of this nonsense that's going on right now in the Senate. It's absolutely shameful.
It's not only shameful, it's sick when you think about what's at stake right now. I'm glad both of you joined us, Ashwin Madia, David Bellavia. Guys, thanks very much for coming in, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wolf.